Need some coins for that God Squad you've always wanted? Check out rockbottomcoins.com for the cheapest and fastest coins anywhere. Use code ZERK for 15% off your order. And if you guys want to compete in tournaments for cash prizes, make sure to check out tourneycrypt.com.
The whole thing wobbin'.
What's going on, guys? It's Zirksee coming at you today with another YouTube video. And today, I'm going to talk to you guys about the Team of the Year promo, what I've done to prepare for the Team of the Year promo, and what I think you guys should do, what exactly it may do to the auction block, depending on the cards that come out, and a lot of other stuff as well. But before we get into it, I would really appreciate you guys to drop a like on the video. That way more people can find this video and help them out. Also, if you guys didn't see the video uploaded last night, I actually played against Tyreek Hill. So definitely check that video out. It was a pretty dang incredible video. So the first thing that I've done to myself to actually go and prepare for Team of the Year is something very important. I'm going to say this right now, guys. I don't know for a fact this is going to be in Team of the Year. However, it was in Team of the Year last year. So just put it like that. I'm not saying this is 100% going to be there. Go out and pick these players up. I'm not saying that because I don't know. I can risk it. And if these players are not going to be in the Team of the Year sets, then it's okay for me to take the L. If you guys can't afford to take the risk, maybe you get a big time benefit out of this. Maybe you don't. Maybe you take an L. I'm not too sure. But last year, there were some Team of the Year sets. You needed 4 89 to 92s and 2 93 to 95 overall players to get you a Team of the Year fantasy pack that allowed you to get a Team of the Year offense player, defense player, and a special teams player, which you could pick one, of course. And then there was an NAT one, which was 2 of the 89 to 92s and 1 93 to 95 overall Team of the Week player. Now, there was also a set in the Team of the Year promo for elite tokens. You can exchange elite tokens, and you would end up getting, well, you can exchange elite and gold tokens. You can end up getting yourself a 89 plus overall Team of the Week player pack, which was nice. That was really, really nice and allowed you to complete more sets. However, we don't have elite tokens this year, so I'm not sure how they're going to do that. Maybe they do something with training, potentially, but still, nonetheless, Team of the Year players should shoot up in price. So if you guys remember during the Christmas promo, they actually dropped a present that allowed you to go and get a bunch of Team of the Year players or Team of the Week players, and that's when I went ahead and first up, I pulled a bunch of these guys, and I haven't sold them yet. You guys see Jimmy G, Joe Hayden. I believe I pulled him as well. Another Jimmy Garoppolo right here. You can see as well, I packed him. But ever since then, I've actually been going out and buying these players. You can see on Christmas Day, I kind of remembered this Team of the Year thing. I actually had someone DM me over on Twitter. I wish I could find the DM so I could say shout out to him, but someone did DM me over on Twitter. If you remember who you are, thank you very much for reminding me about this, because he actually DM'd me and said, hey, Team of the Year promo's coming up, and I remember that there was this set in the game where you added all these Team of the Week players in to go and get yourself a Team of the Year player. Do you think it's a good idea to buy now? And I said, holy crap, that's genius, because there's so many Team of the Year players flooding the auction block, so many Team of the Week players, it's 100% worth to go ahead and buy. So you guys can see I went ahead and I scooped up a bunch of Team of the Year players. I'm currently sitting on 41 Team of the Week heroes. Well, I guess I actually do have that 79 overall Cortland Sutton, and I have like, what, 4 or 5 in between the Nick Bosa, the Fred Warner. So I have like 36 players, and in terms of just 89 pluses, 88 to 89s, I have currently got 13 Bradley Chubbs / Dalvin Cooks, and 90 to 91s. I've currently got 9 of those, and I also got 14 92 to 93s. Now, like I said, the set last year was 89 to 92, and then 93 to 95. Well, currently, right, we only have got 89 through 93 overall set heroes. I don't believe they'll do anything higher than that besides the set heroes. So you'd have to imagine if they come out with the set this year, it'll probably be 89 to 91, and then maybe 92 to 93 overall Team of the Week heroes. Either which way, when they release this set, prices definitely shot up last year. You guys can see 89 Dalvin Cook. I'm gonna let you guys know, I actually was buying him for around like 70K, I believe, a little bit cheaper than that. You guys see he's currently selling for 83,000 coins now. I've been sitting on these Team of the Week cards for quite a while. If we take a look at the 92s and 93s, I've been buying these guys up momentarily, just whenever I can. You guys see Jimmy G's about 175K right now. I was buying it for a little bit cheaper than that. I think I was finding these guys for like 130K, 120K or so, especially on Christmas Day. They were super, super cheap. Baker Mayfield's one of those cheap guys. Well, he's 129K right now, which I'm going to buy him. I feel like he might go up in price a little bit. So, personally, I am buying all these players up, not to make a profit necessarily, because obviously, if they do end up dropping that Team of the Year fantasy set, you guys obviously are going to want to see me open that pack. So the reason I bought so many Team of the Week players is not to sell them back for a profit, but strictly to do the Team of the Year fantasy pack, and obviously, and if they drop that, then these players are going to shoot them in price quite a bit. So to me, it was worth it to invest. Like I said, I don't know if this is going to be in the game. If it's not in the game, I can sell these Team League players off. I can take the 10% tax L. Maybe they shoot down a little bit more, because I know some people may have also been preparing with these Team League players themselves. So Team League heroes, if the set doesn't come out with Team of the Year, yes, they can shoot down in price, and I'm perfectly okay with that. So if you guys can't risk it, I don't recommend you try it. However, you guys can see how invested I am. I'm not going to say I think it's going to come, because I don't know, but I would be shocked if it's not in the promo, because it wasn't last year, and it just makes perfect sense. Besides that, there's also a couple things I want to go over with the Team of the Year promo in terms of what I think is going to happen and the market specifically. So first up, Team Week Heroes, that's part of the market as well. They will probably shoot up if that set is in the game. Second, Team Week Solos. If you guys have got yourself at least 15 tokens total, there are 18 total tokens you possibly get, 17 total weeks, and then also the preseason, so there's 18 total weeks that you guys can get yourself a Team of the Year collectible. Last year, the set needed 15 of these Team of the Year tokens, so if you missed it to 3 weeks, hopefully we'll be fine. We don't know yet. We will find out. But obviously, if you guys don't know, these Team of the Year tokens you get for playing the Team League Solos, it's too late now to go back and play the rest. Like, they're not going to re-release them. You do get a free Team of the Year player. Every single year it's been like that, so it's going to be NAT more than likely. Last year it actually was auctionable, so we'll see exactly what it's going to be. But that is a big market change as well, because a lot of people have done these challenges. And then also, usually, there is a solo challenge sequence to go ahead and play, and you get yourself a free Team of the Year player. So obviously that's going to change a lot of things as well. Everyone gets like an NAT Team of the Year player. That's big. It's usually not a pack where you can choose like one player specifically that you want. Obviously, he's not going to do that. But besides that, really they've been saving house rules nowadays for these bigger time promos. So Team of the Year, I would not be surprised at all to see a house rules event with Team of the Year that allows us to go ahead and get another Team of the Year player. So I think that we're going to see potentially 3 chances for every single person to go ahead and get yourself a free Team of the Player. First up, if you guys have played the Team League challenges, then you should be able to get one there, and then maybe there'll be some challenges themselves. You can go ahead and play through them and get yourself another NAT player, and then potentially house rules. So that changes a lot with the market. Now, one thing I want to keep note of, though, and tell you guys right now, of all the years that I've played Madden, right, and taking a look at the market, this is probably the year where the highest overall players in the game have been the cheapest. And I know it sounds weird because some people are like, holy crap, Mike Vick's 430K. Let me tell you, that is not that expensive in comparison to how expensive players were in years past. Currently, it looks like the most expensive player in the game is only 640K with Patrick Willis. Now, I know that sounds like a lot, right? But in years past, and the biggest differences between this year and every other single year. Last year, if you wanted a limited time card, the only way to get that LTD was to buy it off the auction block or wait, and a week after that limited time card was released, you could actually use training and you could skip over that player in like the power up set. So you couldn't just go ahead and pick up the card regularly with training, but you'd have to actually power that guy up and then use the same amount of training points as the card quick souls for to go ahead and power him up. So that was kind of nice there. That definitely caused price to come down a little bit. But also in years past, we didn't even have that. So if you wanted to get LTDs or you wanted to get someone that's very, very expensive, you had to go out and buy them. We didn't have power pass or anything. So there were cards selling for almost 1 million coins every single day because people needed to get those cards. Like back when Mud Heroes used to, or Mud Heroes, back when the why can't I not? Mud Master used to be auctionable, like OBJ, Richard Sherman, those guys. They were selling for a lot of coins, millions of coins. They sold for a lot. So one thing to keep note of, if you guys are planning to sell your team off, is just know what position you plan on actually selling off. Because we're going to get a lot of good players. Team leaders usually between 94 to 98 overall players. Majority of those players being 95 through 97. With some special teams guys being 94, like sub linebacker, third down running back, and then of course the higher overall guys at 98. Those are reserved for the best players. So some people I think we potentially see. I think the Team of the Year promo, if you're going to sell your team off, there's certain positions that you may want to go ahead and sell. Now, like I always say, when it comes to selling your team, it's a bit of a risk, but I really do feel as though the market is going to take a bit of a hit. In terms of the best wide receivers in the game right now, we have T.O. sitting around 435,000 coins. Now, the Team of the Year promo, because of how it's set up, because everyone getting like these free ADT cards, the packs are pretty solid usually, and then the fantasy packs as well. Team of the Year players are not always that expensive. Like, you might get yourself a Tyreek Hill card. Like last year, Tyreek Hill was pretty dang expensive, for like 600, 700,000 coins. Some of him, Todd Gurley, Bobby Wagner, those guys are pretty expensive. But then you also got a lot of 95s going for 300K or so. And that's going to change the market quite a bit because you're incorporating a bunch of new 95 overall players into the game, 96 overall players in the game, and based off the market this year, I'm going to assume that these Team of the Year cards will probably be sitting around 400,000 coins for 95 overall players, maybe even 96s. I don't know if they'd be that cheap, but seeing how right now we have a 96 overall TO going for 430K, and more so comes down to the name. So if we get, say, 3 wide receivers, right? One's a 94, that's whatever. But say we get Michael Thomas and we get DeAndre Hopkins, and they're both 96 overall or above, that's definitely going to change the market quite a bit. So I think depending on who you guys actually have is who you should decide to sell. So if you've got yourself like a Julio Jones, who right now is 410,000 coins, I think he's probably... It's tough, I can't like say for sure, but I would guess that Julio Jones is definitely going to go down in price, maybe to 350K or less, depending on the Team of the Year wide receivers. It's all about the position that you guys are going to want to sell. Quarterbacks right now, we already have Michael Vick, right? So I don't really think that a QB would drop Mike Vick unless we get a Russell Wilson with like 93 speed or like 91 speed, which probably is not going to have anything at that high speed. I don't think Mike Vick is going to really drop that much in price. Running back is another position we have got a ton of really good running backs at right now. We've got players like Bo Jackson, we've got Walter Payton, and they're not that expensive. Like Bo's 300K, right? He's not that expensive in terms of being one of the best players in the game, selling for that cheap. Eric Dickerson, 400,000 coins. I really don't think the running back market is going to change much unless they give like a 98 overall to a running back like they did with Todd Gurley last year. That would change a little bit. I do believe the offensive lineman market, however, will definitely change a bit. Bruce Matthews is one of those guys I 100% expect to go down because usually with the offensive linemen, they're all 95 minimum, and we give one at every single position. At left tackle, you guys see we have Ronnie Stanley. These guys aren't too expensive. Anthony Munoz, about 354,000 coins. At center, you know, we have Jason Kelsey, who's 220. Kevin Mawai. Centers aren't really that expensive either, but maybe they shoot down a little bit as well. Right guard, we're probably going to get a Zach Martin, which we do have Larry Allen is 486K. Definitely expect him to come down in price. And right tackle, we've got Jonathan Ogden. Again, definitely expecting to come down in price. No one's going to be paying 475K for a 94 right tackle when we're about to get 95, 96 overall offensive linemen. I think that's the number one position I could see definitely going down in price. Aside from that, you really just have to know exactly who's coming out, right? So at right end, I think Aaron Donald is going to come out. So I definitely would expect, you know, Deacon Jones, Bruce Smith, all these guys to go down in price. It really comes down to your personal predictions and if the market is already flooded. Like if cornerbacks are already super cheap, right? We have Stephon Gilmore going for 280K. How much cheaper can they actually get? Like Rod Woodson's 470. He will definitely come down, I believe. Deion Sanders about 445K. He would definitely come down as well. So if you have anyone, I'd say if there's any players on your team that are, say, a 95 overall player, I think Deion Sanders is probably the one guy that probably won't go down that much because it's Deion Sanders. But if you have got a 94 overall player on your team going for, let me think, like 400,000 coins, I'd sell. I think they're definitely going to go down in price. 95 overall players, if you happen to have any 95s, I don't really know if they'll go down a ton, but if they're like 500K or so, I don't think 95 overall Team of the Year players are going to go for that much. So if you happen to have any of those guys, I definitely would sell off as well. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I should mention here, aside from LTDs, okay, if you had like a Khalil Mack or whatever, he probably won't go down that much. It just depends on the players that we get, but it's all a risk. Remember that if you sell your team, it's a risk to you guys. You have to take the 10% tax loss, and then the Team of the Year promo comes out. However, certain positions, I definitely think it's worth it to go ahead and sell off. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure you guys drop a like on the vid, and of course hit that sub button down below. Let me know what you guys will be doing to prepare for the Team of the Year promo. I have a bunch of Team of the Week heroes. Maybe I'll buy a couple more Team of the Week heroes as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed the vid. I'll see you guys next time.